Some stories crawl out of the grave. Others are buried beneath ice and silence. From the bone-dry heart of the Australian outback to the snow-blind trails of Siberia, terror doesn't knock, it waits. Here, we tell the tales that stay with you long after the fire's gone out. Zombies, vanished hikers, unsolved deaths, end-of-the-world whispers that echo through time. This is Aussie After Dark, the place where the line between fact and fear disappears. So light a candle, lock the doors, and don't blink. Because the story you're about to hear might just be true. And if you can take a second to subscribe, it really motivates and helps to continue these stories. Well, anyway, let's join Mason once more. Day 10. 1. The move again. There were 19 civilians behind me, mothers clutching toddlers, old men hunched with exhaustion, teenagers who'd stopped asking if their parents were alive. 6 officers left, including me. 3 days of rest had let our wounds knit, but they hadn't healed. Not fully. Not the kind that lived behind the eyes. And as much as I wanted to give them more time, I knew we'd stretched this pause to its limit. The world doesn't wait. So we marched, past the broken pharmacy, past where we buried the raiders, north again, toward the tracks, toward what they'd all started calling the extraction. We arrived at station under skies the color of old ash. The platform was scorched, shelter half collapsed. Blackened struts clawed the air like ribs torn open. The signs were there, remnants of old orders, evacuation tags nailed to walls, spray-painted arrows pointing east and west, faded warnings in military stencil. Travis scouted the train yard, rifle low, eyes sharp. Jenny watched our rear flank, every movement deliberate. Naya never let go of her bat. She asked, why would they leave the tracks open if it was safe? Good question. I looked out at the twisted rail line as it vanished into the wreckage of hope itself. Maybe they want us to believe it still is. We moved past the station. The line curved into a stretch of silent steel, flanked by rusted shipping containers and burned fencing. The rail convoy lay ahead, armored freight cars half sunk into the dirt. Some scorched black, others crumpled like tinfoil under some impossible weight. One car was off the rails entirely, wheels twisted like shattered bones. Its doors hung open, and the moment we approached, the wind shifted. The smell hit us first. Burned meat. Rust. Smoke that had long gone cold. We saw the bodies after. Some in uniform, some civilians. All fused to the blistered walls of the freight car like wax figures left in fire. Eyes gone, hands outstretched, screaming, even in death. Naya turned away. Jenny stood frozen. Even Travis, hard as he was, just stared. This, Jenny's voice broke through the quiet. This was the extraction. We moved cautiously now. Boots crunching glass. Shell casings littered the gravel, melted crates. Blood turned black with time. I bent down and picked up a pair of dog tags. The name was scorched, unreadable. Then Travis called out, his voice sharp, urgent. He'd found a radio, half buried beneath a collapsed signal post. One side charred, the speaker warped. He fiddled with the dial. Static. Then, a voice. Faint. Warbled. Damaged. Final call. North rail destroyed. Fall back to Amberley. Last departure 2100 hours. Godspeed. Silence. Then the message looped again. Travis stepped back, jaw clenched. Amberley's west, not south. He looked at me like I was supposed to fix it, like I was supposed to know which way salvation lay. I held his stare. Then looked out at the horizon, blackened, still smoking in places. Or maybe there is no right way anymore. We stood there, at the edge of what should have been hope. The 19 civilians gathered close, faces drained, children crying softly. 6 officers still breathing. All of us burdened with memory, battered by choice. And that's when the scream came. It was Elspeth who noticed first. She crouched by the supply packs, her hands trembling slightly. "Some of the food's gone," she murmured. 2 ration bags, 1 water bladder. Then she opened the weapons case. Her breath caught. The flare gun's missing too. I moved to her side, saw the truth in the empty slots where the painkillers used to be. My stomach sank. I turned and did a head count. "Where are Donnie and Yusuf?" I asked. Nobody answered. The words hit the group like a shockwave. Panic rippled through the survivors, fast and sharp as a lightning strike. Parents clutched their children. Officer Myers and Halim instantly began forming a security sweep. Tahi raised his sidearm, eyes hard. Jenny and Travis split off without a word. Their weapons were already in their hands. It took 20 minutes to find them, tucked inside the old station manager's office, behind rusted blinds and a barricaded door. Jenny kicked it in with a shout. Danny didn't flinch. He stood there like we were the ones trespassing. Maps were spread across the desk. Broken radios. A compass. Ration wrappers. Empty pill bottles. They had supplies. They had a plan. Their own escape. "We were trying to survive," Danny said, voice cold, flat. "You wouldn't have made it. Not all of you." No regret. No shame. Just steel-eyed pragmatism. Jenny surged forward, her voice breaking like a dam. "We trusted you," she snapped. "You slept beside us, ate with our kids, and you were stealing from the start?" Yusuf flinched behind him. He couldn't meet our eyes. His silence said everything. I stepped between Jenny and Donnie, not to stop her, just to be there. Then Naya moved. Quiet. Controlled. She stepped into the room, her bat gripped like it was part of her body. She raised it, slowly, steadily, until the end hovered just inches from Danny's face. He didn't blink. She didn't swing. Her arms shook, every muscle trembling. But her eyes, those eyes, burned through him like a furnace. And I saw it. That fragile piece of her that still believed in mercy, that still remembered the world before. She lowered the bat, said nothing. We stripped them of their stolen gear, radios, compass, food, left them in that office with nothing but their guilt and cold air. As we walked away, Naya muttered, voice low, steady, like she was forcing herself to believe it. "They forgot what we were fighting for." I pulled her close, arm around her shoulders, felt the tension in her frame. "Just glad you haven't, kiddo." That night, the sky cracked open with distant thunder, but it wasn't a storm. It was the sound of them. From the edge of the railway, we saw them. A swarm, pouring in from the west. Dozens, maybe more. Drawn by the smoke of yesterday's fight. Drawn by the blood we spilled defending the pharmacy. Jenny knelt beside me. "They followed the fire," she whispered. "They're hunting heat, movement, anything that lives." Roland didn't wait for orders. He raced up the old signal tower, one arm still stiff from the wound Naya helped dress. He fired the last flare into the sky, a dying crimson streak that burst above the trees like a blood star. He pointed west. "They'll chase that," he said. "Not us." We moved in silence. 19 civilians, 6 officers, Naya, Jenny, Myers, Halim, Tahi, Elspeth, Lily. All of them mine now. All of them my responsibility. We slipped into the dark, boots crunching glass and bone. No talking. No lights. Just breath and motion and the weight of survival. We were fewer than we started, but we were still walking, still headed toward extraction. And somehow, despite everything, hope followed.